Let me give you the scripture for today. Our scripture is coming from Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path." You know, if we're being honest, and I hope you're being honest, I'm being honest. That's my main goal in life, is to be honest. One of the hardest things about following God is not always knowing what comes next. That is so hard in life. So I want to talk to you today briefly about trusting God when the future feels unclear. Most of us like certainty. We like plans. We like knowing. We like knowing where we're going. We like knowing how things will work out. We like knowing when prayers will be answered. We like knowing what tomorrow looks like. But life rarely works that way. Sometimes you find yourself standing in a season where the future feels blurry. You're praying, you're asking God, you're trying to be faithful, yet you still don't know what's next. And that uncertainty can be unsettling at times because uncertainty creates questions. Questions create anxiety, and anxiety tempts us to grab control. So let me say this clearly to you starting out. One of the greatest tests of faith is trusting God when you don't have all the answers. Can you trust God when you don't know everything? Can you trust God when everything doesn't line up? Everybody can trust God when everything makes sense. Anybody can trust God when the path is obvious. Anybody can trust God when the outcome is visible. But real faith begins when understanding ends. That's why Proverbs tells us not to lean on our own understanding, because our understanding is limited. We see today, God sees tomorrow. We see a chapter at a time, God sees the entire story. And many believers today struggle because they're trying to understand everything before they'll trust God.